Today we will be having our panel interviews. What we're looking for are their interpersonal skills, their personality, and mainly, can you see them in front of our audience on a very close and personal level. Today's panel interviews can absolutely make or break our impressions of the ladies.
Who's your role model?
Definitely be my mom.
I just really look up to my dad. I'm a daddy's girl.
Mariah Carey.
If you had 10 minutes to live and one phone call to make, who would you call and what would you say?
My husband, we married 8 months ago, and he is truly my best friend. I would call him.
Call my husband and tell him that I love him.
I would love to call Miss United States. She's just currently won, and I've always wanted to be Miss United States. I'd love to ask her how it feels.
Now, you heard what I said. If you had 10 minutes to live, you would call Miss America?
Yeah, Miss United States.
Okay, Miss United States.
How would your best friend describe you to us?
That's a think.
And my best friend would describe me as probably a sister.
Just that I'm a really loyal friend. I think a different friend.
Who's your favorite Cowboy football player of all time?
Emmett Smith. Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman. T.O.
I don't know. They asked me the easiest question ever. Who's your favorite football player? And I said nothing.
Oh, boy.
I think she sank on that one.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
If you could describe yourself with 3 words, what would you use?
Peppy, energetic, and loyal. Funny, outgoing, extroverted.
Nurturing, caring, and passionate.
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Oh, I don't even remember. Sorry.
Kimber, do you know the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
Is it Bill Parsons?
It was.
I am surprised when they don't know questions about the team they're trying out for.
How are y'all feeling right now?
Like I'm about to be called into the principal's office. Like I did something really naughty, and I haven't done anything yet.
Be yourself. Don't say If you don't know what you're gonna say, just stop, think about it, take a few breaths, keep going.
Ashton, if you were to make the squad and Tony Romo asked you out, what would you say?
Well, I do love Tony Romo. He's very good looking, but
That's a yes?
No, no, it is not a yes. I do have a boyfriend of 3 years, and no, I would not.
I would say no. Isn't it against the rules? Yes, I would say no.
I know that we're not supposed to date football players or have any real interaction, I believe, with them, and I would want to make sure I represented the cheerleaders in a positive way.
Do you know if there is an S on Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders?
I don't think there's an S at the end of Cowboys. I'm not sure.
It is plural, Dallas Cowboys, because there's not just one cowboy, it's a whole team.
I never really paid attention to Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. I just assumed that there wasn't an S, but there is.
Whitney, is this you or your twin?
That is me.
We always have, and we'll continue to do background checks on every candidate. Can you tell us about it? Because this is...
When she pulled out the picture, I just was like, oh, poop. Having a little bit of too much fun, I guess.
A photograph can be deadly to their chances.
Alex, why should we select you to be a cheerleader?
I am dedicated, wholesome, someone who you'd be able to send anywhere and represent the Cowboys to the fullest.
Alex has been doing real well so far. She was scored in the top 20 of the whole pack.
Have you had any instances with the law?
Well, when I was younger, I had a speeding problem. I'm a little bit of an aggressive driver, things like that.
After I did the background checks and some of the reference checks, things just kept coming back that couldn't be ignored.
She was top 20. Not anymore.
Okay, the next 3, and it's Kaimio, Teeter, Lauren, and Cassie.
We decided before the panel interviews today that when Cassie came up that I would leave the room. I think that it would be better for her and the judges. I don't think they could have asked her questions quite as honestly if I had been in the room.
Okay, Miss Cassie, of all of the young ladies that are trying out, you clearly know what it takes to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. My question to you is, do you think you have it?
I do think I have it because I will work so hard. I know that I'm gonna have to strive so people will understand that I made it because of myself and not because of my mom.
I'm a nervous wreck for Cassie right now. It's my 28th season, and now I know how every mom feels.
When we sit them down, I'm looking for personality. Are they pleasant? Are they genuine? Are they fun? Or are they fake?
Everybody gets nervous going into these interviews. There's the most intimidating people right in front of you that determine the next year of your life.
I want to play a game here.
Okay.
It's called You Make the Call. Red Bull or Rockstar?
Red Bull. Sugar-free.
Brand name over generic?
Brand name.
Rich old guy, hot broke stud.
Oh, hot broke stud.
Okay. Kelli or Simon?
Kelli! Kelli all the way!
Can you name your 3 favorite current Dallas Cowboys?
Marion Barber, Tashard Choice.
Jessica Simpson's boyfriend, but
Would you say that you make the uniform or the uniform makes you?
I feel like the uniform has to make the girl.
I believe the uniform would make me. It would be an honor to be in the uniform.
I make the uniform because I am fully prepared to come with everything that I have and be a rock star.
That's great. Okay, ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
When I walked out of the interview, I did think I did a really good job, and I don't have any regrets coming out of it.
I make the uniform. Are you kidding me?
Well, you set out a landmine and she tripped on it. I think Judy and I both want to see who is here for the right reasons. It's not surprising that people that like to compete in pageants choose then to try out for Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. What is surprising is for someone to try to do both at the same time.
Lacey, you're the current Miss Louisiana. When you have to give up your crown, when is
Mine
yours?
is a weekend or a Sunday in November.
Okay.
Sunday in November could quite possibly be a Cowboys game, though.
I think, yeah, I would have to cross that bridge when I get to it.
It's unusual to have sisters that both hold individual titles in pageants.
I know I asked your sister the same thing because it's going to create a problem when you have to give up your crown.
Unfortunately, I am currently Miss Lafayette, so I do have to fulfill those duties because I was chosen as that about 10, 11 months ago.
When is that pageant?
It's in June.
Because you will not have any time off in June.
Well, of course, this is my first priority. I walked in and we sat down and they started asking us questions, and it was fine.
What qualities do you think a leader needs?
Honesty.
Someone sweet and spunky.
Very caring.
To not give up.
We need to represent the organization as classy, respectful young women.
I expect knowledge on the Cowboys. I assume knowledge about our country. Line by line, starting with you, say the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? No, that's our national anthem. Star Spangled Banner is. Am I getting these confused?
By the dawn's early light. So proudly taking the seabed onto white. I don't know, I'm sorry.
With white stripes and white stars. Through the perilous.
Whose?
Whose white stripes and white stars?
What kind of stripes?
White.
No, sorry. Cute.
Gave proof that night
That flag was still there. Our flag was still there.
It became painful for me to realize how many people couldn't get through the first couple sentences of the national anthem.
For the land of the free.
Hit it, Allie.
And the home of the brave.
Awful.
It was too hard. Make And how did you tell us you broke your jaw, or did you get kicked by a bull or fall off?
No, ma'am. I have some friends who are professional bull riders, and I thought it looked really neat, and I wanted to try it.
And you climbed on him, and what happened?
They opened up the chute, and I went out. I stayed on for about 3 or 4 seconds. Actually, what broke my jaw was my arm, because I jammed my arm up like this.
It does scare me a little bit that Megan doesn't make great decisions and that she's a risk taker. So Kinley.
Oh, here we go.
I will confront Kinley that she walked out on training camp last year. I think it's too important to ignore. You know, I'm not your biggest fan right now. How can you defend yourself?
I believe, it was the only choice that I had. I had prior commitments.
But we sat across from each other last year, this very same time, and it was very clear. Kinley, you can't have a week off.
It was a decision I regret, and that's the reason I'm back here.
It hurts, but then again, you can only, like I say, you can only do the best that you can do.
Good morning. To be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, you have to be able to speak with anyone. You might be sitting at dinner next to Jerry Jones, or the owner of another team, or the general of the Army on a USO tour. Any one of these young ladies can be a great dancer, but if they can't speak, if we cannot put them on an appearance, they're not going to make the team.
I work in software. My background is computer engineering. That was my degree.
I'm in the investment advisory business. I'm doing educational administration and special education. I am currently an electrophysiology tech.
You majored in chemistry with a minor in mathematics?
Mm-hmm. I definitely want to get my PhD and then go into research.
I love representatives that are smart and charming and talented and fun-loving, but stupid can be dangerous in our business. Do you know the party of our president, political party?
No.
Do you know what a political party is?
No.
I don't know why, I just said no, and it is either Democrat or, what's the other one? Democrat or, I just blanked out.
I don't have an answer for that. That's the kind of thing that winds up offending me. You better dance incredibly tomorrow.
Do you know who the commissioner is?
No, I do not. I'm willing to learn, though. I'm not from here, so.
When are you going to start learning?
Can you tell us who the commander-in-chief is?
It is Roger Goodell.
Randy, who's the commander-in-chief?
Barack Obama.
President, hello. Wow. Can I just leave now?
The biggest key is to be yourself, so I definitely tried to cover up my moments with a little bit of humor.
So Megan, what's your biggest fear?
Interviews.
So who is your celebrity crush?
I like the goofy people. Don't judge me. Zach Brown.
Bradley Cooper.
And Matthew McConaughey.
I've always liked Matthew Lawrence.
I think I've thought about that. I've been focusing on studying Dallas Cowboys for the past few weeks.
Ryan Reynolds.
Brad Pitt.
I have to admit, one of the nights before I left to come, I watched the Never Say Never So with Justin Bieber, and I'm sorry, he has the most precious voice, and just the cutest little thing. I don't know, he's my recent new founder.
Courtney does really well in her interviews. She has a little spark that a lot of the other candidates don't have, and the judges really like her in the interview process.
Do you know what your weaknesses are?
Of course, my dancing, my rushing, just being more calm. And
if Courtney does not show the ability to dance with precision and rhythm in our group dance, that will kill her. Carissa, can you own your own company? What kind of company is it?
I do. It is a custom ventilation. I do have a co-owner. I manage his pest control office as well. And I know.
And you help raise a 2-year-old?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, I'm exhausted listening to you.
Sorry.
You have a 2-year-old sister that you help take care of?
I do. I've raised her since she was born, actually. But my mom is switching jobs because, I'm gonna cry if I say this.
I don't want to cry.
Everybody else has cried, don't worry about it.
Just making it this far, she realized that she's got to let me go at some point in time, and that I can't, even if it's not to be on this team this season, that I can't always be there. And so it would be hard for me, but good for me, because it would be one of the first things in my life that I've ever done just for me.
So if you guys are ready, we're going to bring in our first group.
This is really the only time that we get with each candidate. We really get to look at them personally and hear their story.
Hello, ladies.
This is my third year. I tried out in 2008 and 2011, and I made it to the finals, and I got cut.
I'm a financial analyst at a Fortune 500 company.
Where were you before California?
From Japan.
I really want to know if the girl has a good personality and if she's approachable and fun to visit with.
What I would really, really like to do is become a special agent in the FBI. I'm half Israeli, half Chinese.
Wow.
I speak Hebrew.
Shalom, Manishma. Hi, how are y'all?
It's a really important round. It can really make or break a girl.
Katie, you cheered for the Mavericks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We looked at Facebook and a couple other things, and you seemed to criticize the Mavericks on your own Facebook pages.
We do some background checking on each of the candidates.
I hope that nothing came across too negative, really.
Were you a cheerleader when you posted Mavericks suck?
Oh, no.
We can't take risks putting the wrong person in our uniform.
So why do you want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
This is such an amazing organization, and I really became passionate for it after my dad came home from being stationed overseas and told me, you know, in the middle of this horrible war, we had a shining light, and these girls came in and performed for us, and he was like, it was such an encouragement to me and my troops, and that just really hit home for me because my dad means everything to me.
I like Chelsea a lot. She's bright, bubbly, smart.
Who's the commander-in-chief?
Already, first question. Put me in the hot seat.
That'd be our President Obama.
There are some that say something so stupid or so shocking that it silences us.
Who was the Democratic Party nominee for the 2012 presidential election?
I did blank whenever they did ask who was the Democratic nominee of 2012.
All right, yikes.
I do know the answer now. It's Michelle Obama. Is that right? Was that right? That wasn't right? Okay.
Who's your favorite player on the Cowboys?
Tony Romo.
Miles Austin.
That would have to be Jason Witten,
Why?
because I love the defense.
He plays offense, though.
Jordan, don't you have an internship?
I do,
starting?
yes. I'll be starting Monday with CBS Sports. Pretty excited about
You'll be
it.
starting in sports.
Yes.
Name a Cowboys running back.
Great.
It just became evident that she didn't impress me as someone who was ready to take on sports journalism.
Alexander, do you know what the most watched programming on television is?
I want to say American Idol, but that doesn't sound right. The Voice?
The National Football League.
I've told our veterans many times, when they walk into the room for a panel interview, they should be a standout. They should be more confident, they should be more poised, they should be more knowledgeable. Tell this room a Dallas Cowboys running back.
DeMarco Murray.
Felix Jones.
Yeah. I don't think very well right off the top. I mean, I thought of one last night.
My mind is going a million to nothing, and I couldn't even catch a breath.
Listen, I'm a little bit concerned about that comment. What do you mean you don't think very well right off the
No,
top?
I mean, I do. I just really kind of flustered.
We'll be sending you out to represent our team.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
if you can't handle those questions in the moment, that would cause some alarms for us.
Yes, ma'am. 100%.
Alyssa's interview did not help her chances. She took a dangerous turn.
You know, I'm just completely embarrassed right now. I can't believe that I couldn't answer your question.
You want to be a good veteran, and it's just embarrassing.
Good morning. Panel interviews are fun for me. It finally lets us get kind of up close and personal with each of the finalists. This is where we determine if they can be an ambassador for the Dallas Cowboys. They will interact with politicians, corporate leaders, military leaders, so they really have to be someone that's nice to speak with.
Tell us about performing in Bring It On.
Well, I've been with the show for 3 years. We just closed on Broadway in December.
So I do project management and program management for Verizon Business.
I'm a software developer. I did study Arabic.
Are you bilingual?
Si.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, that's a good question because I keep telling everyone I have 5 more dancer years left.
Dancing is a big part of what the cheerleaders do, but half of their job is being able to go out into the public and be able to communicate.
Name 5 former U.S. presidents.
George W. Bush, George Washington. I said George Bush. I'm sorry. Being in front of Kelli and Judy, I just got so nervous.
Can you tell us who the vice president is now?
Vice President, O'Biden.
What's the name?
O'Biden.
O'Biden? Obama? O'Cedar? Where are we going with this?
Is that wrong? Oh my gosh. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not sure.
If we told you he won Dancing with the Stars, would you know who he is?
I would not. Emmett Smith.
How's your Cowboys fluency?
I've done a lot of studying, but you know, obviously this is something that I will have to work on because it's played a little differently back home with the Aussie rules football, AFL. That cheerleading is my dream and it's what I've always wanted to do. I still have to pinch myself that I'm here because there are no words for how I feel right now. Thank you.
Ladies, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
I love her personality. I think this year is absolutely the most competitive season we've seen. The largest group of re-auditioning veterans we've ever had, ever in our history.
What have you learned about yourself since being on the team?
I've definitely become a more confident person. I think we can all say that.
I just am constantly trying to strive to be better. A better person, a better woman, a better dancer.
It's important that our veterans can walk into that room with total confidence.
What do you feel has been your biggest contribution to DCC?
Probably my biggest contribution is just that I like to have fun and keep it light and, you know, keep our team positive and having fun on game days and the practices and stuff like that.
Courtney, where are you looking?
I'm looking at that light. It helps me think. Like, we need your eye contact.
They laughed at me looking at the table, I know, but I mean, last year they laughed at me for talking too fast.
It did slow you down, I will admit, because now you're back to your normal pace. How could we send her out on an interview? She won't make eye contact. That is not her normal behavior.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Hi.
This is like a job interview. I'm really nervous, but I think I just gotta tell myself to be myself and breathe.
We're gonna just fire off some questions.
Give us a fun fact about you.
I'm deathly afraid of blood. Passed out 3 times, but I know when I'm passing out, so it's just like, I'll be back.
I'll be back. I'll see you in a minute.
I was homeschooled until 8th grade, and I taught myself algebra.
Wow.
When I went to public school, which was super challenging.
I drive a F-150 that's lifted. Actually, I drove my sister's car because I couldn't get into my car today. Today, the heels and the dress were a little hard to get up and down.
So if you could have a fantasy dinner, who would you invite?
From anywhere in the world?
Anywhere.
I would have to say my dad. My dad actually, he passed away when I was 13, so if I could have dinner with anyone, it would be him.
How about one famous person?
Yeah.
Let me think about that. Maybe a little JT.
I want to see her dance again, because now I'm interested. These girls have to be able to speak to cameras, media, soldiers, maybe even the President of the United States.
So, Michelle, if the NFL should decide to expand into a European country, where do you think they should go?
Let's see here. Africa?
I'm sorry?
It's frustrating for us as judges when they show up at the room and seem unprepared, stupid, dingy. It's just painful.
How many yards on a football field?
There are 50.
50 yards on a football field.
Oh, wait, whoa.
The organization doesn't want dumb girls, and I was a dumb girl in that room.
Who wants to help her out?
100. I knew I said that, and I was like, oh, wrong.
So, Shannon, you are from Pittsburgh. You still live in Pittsburgh?
Yes, I do.
Jason Witten or Ben Roethlisberger?
Ooh.
I am a diehard Steelers fan, but
I'd have to go with Jason Witten, to be honest. Ben, off the field, is not necessarily my favorite person.
I thought Shannon had a very pleasant personality. It was interesting. She says she's a die-hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan right here at the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders auditions. I thought that was an honest and genuine answer.
The veterans are included in our panel interview because they need to really stay on their toes all year.
Jennifer, how about the branches of the government?
The judicial, legislative, and executive.
Danielle, if you heard the broadcaster say that an audible had been called, what would that mean?
That would mean that the quarterback has decided to change the play.
Our veterans are really still fighting for their spot.
Courtney, I'm gonna pick on you first because you're East Texas, and Neil, here's one of our Tyler girls.
It's nice to meet you, by the way, Neil.
Nice to meet you,
My dad's
sweetheart.
gonna be jealous.
Is that right? Good.
We have a special guest this year on our panel, and that's Neil McCoy. Neil has had back-to-back #1 singles on the country chart and multiple platinum albums. Neil has been on tour with the Cheerleaders, so he knows what we're looking for, and he's here to help us make those choices today. Courtney tried out last year. How do you feel this year?
I have a year of professional cheerleading under my belt. I cheered for the Dallas Stars all year.
What would it feel like to be in that uniform?
Do you know how many times I've practiced my pose for that uniform?
You said you were Mormon, right?
Yes.
Does that uniform go well with your faith?
As long as you wear it with grace and poise, then it doesn't matter.
If you have that uniform on, it'll be with grace and poise.
Absolutely.
When did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 3. All styles, all genres.
So Ashley, you've come from Kansas City.
Yes.
You've been to Dallas. You've been back to Kansas City. You're back to Dallas. So do you have an allegiance?
I was committed to trying to build my life in Kansas City, but I was almost engaged to somebody, and but that relationship fell apart. I want to be a DCC so bad, and it'd just be so great to make that dream come true this year.
You got to give it to her for being able to pick herself up and keep on.
DX, almost. Is he in Kansas City?
He is in Kansas City.
That's good. Keep him there.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders actually talk on behalf of the Dallas Cowboys. They may be talking to politicians, marketing executives. Interpersonal skill is a very important part of the DCC package.
Selena, will you complete this sentence for me? Ask not what your country can do for you,
but for what you can do for yourself.
Who said them?
Is Uncle Sam? Is that it? I originally answered with Uncle Sam just because I had that picture in my head of him pointing at you like, what can you do? Turns out it's JFK.
The pressure can have an adverse effect on someone who normally can have a nice little conversation at lunch.
I'm going completely blank, I'm sorry.
They can just clam up.
Sorry I'm blinking right now, but I will say I love the Cowboys.
Certainly a girl can prepare for this. She can watch the news, she can watch current events, she can research the Dallas Cowboys.
Do you know who the commissioner of the NFL is?
Roger Goodell.
Who's your favorite recent Cowboys pick?
Darren McFadden.
linebacker, offensive or a defensive player?
Defensive player.
And what does he do?
Take the quarterback's head off.
Last year, I totally bombed it.
How many yards on a football field?
There are 50.
50 yards on a football field.
This year, I hope I don't blow it. I really want to show the judges the real me, the real Kelsey.
Can you tell me who the general manager is of the Cowboys?
I cannot, no ma'am.
Now she doesn't know who the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys is. Right in front of Charlotte, whose father is the Cowboys owner and general manager.
I should have been, knocking them out. I will definitely be very disappointed in myself if I don't make it in training camp because of the panel interview.
Hi, ladies.
Hey, y'all.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Can you name a classical author?
Jane Austen.
Paulo Coelho.
To be honest, I really have no idea. I can't really think of one off the top of my head right now.
What's the last book you've read?
I'm not sure.
I don't read much.
That supports telling our kids to read books, y'all.
Interview day can really make or break a girl's chances. Tasha, I know you're expecting this question. How would you be able to make this move with your husband and a small child?
My husband actually got a job offer in Texas. We're just making the move as a family, and my daughter's super excited. She was like, Mom, I love their costumes. I was like, me too.
Most people are going to speak English to you. Do you understand English well?
Yes, I always try to understand.
Yeah.
But sometimes difficult for me. Sure. But every time I ask again, sorry. Yes. Please ask me again. I always say. I try to understand. Yes, I keep trying.
I loved Yuko, and I don't know, there's something special about her.
Oh, hi.
There's one facet of this year's auditions that's clear to me. This is the year of the comeback girl.
I'm Amy, and I'm from Rockford, Illinois.
And you have now, this is your...
I know, girl. Can we not discuss it?
No, I think this is your 5th year to try out.
It is.
I know you've been here a few times.
Yes, sir.
I think this is Kelsey's year. I know she has one judge in her corner.
I have said some dumb answers in panel the past 2 years. I'm sure you all know about it.
How many yards on a football field?
There are 50.
50 yards on a football field.
Can you tell me who the general manager is of the Cowboys?
All right, tell me about the linebacker's position.
So the linebacker is behind the linemen.
Offense or defense?
That's great.
They are defense. Defense. They're trying to sack the quarterback.
Girlfriend! Who are you?
I love her.
I'm 50-yard line Kelsey, and I'm proud of it because I just killed my panel interview.
Let the questions begin.
Good afternoon.
Nice.
We'll get this out of the way. Any of y'all ever been in jail?
No.
Okay. Next question.
What does the CIA stand for? What do they represent?
I'm sorry, I can't think of that.
What about the FBI?
Federal?
I just said federal. I couldn't think of BI.
Reagan lost me today. She knew nothing. I was going to ask her if she knew what NFL stood for, but I really didn't want to just make it any more miserable. This is her 5th year to try out. She could have been more prepared.
We found our first
tanker.
Name 3 current Dallas Cowboys.
Connor Williams.
Dak Prescott and Sean Lee, who's a linebacker.
So do you know what position Ezekiel Elliott plays for the Dallas Cowboys?
Receive. That's wrong.
Not right.
I'm so mad at myself right now.
I like Lindsay. She's been Dean's List, President's List. We know she's smart. She just went blank.
So if Dak were to hand the ball off.
He's a running back. I knew it. I practiced so much. I'm so sorry. I drew a blank. I know it on my flashcards when I was studying it. And then when Miss Charlotte Jones asked me, I got lost in her beautiful eyes and I did not know what to say.
Dayton, how did you move from disappointment to saying, I'm coming back in 2018?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I ate some Whataburger. I went to bed, I woke up, and I was like, if you want this, you're gonna go get it. I'm a firm believer that your biggest failures are your strongest lessons.
I'm okay with the Whataburger thing as part of your recovery process.
Dayton didn't talk her way off the squad this year in her interview, so she's still in the hunt.
Why do you want to become a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
I think the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they embody everything that I want to be.
Meredith just seemed really kind of almost sedated. She was really just kind of slow in her speaking.
Maddie, you have to share with all the other judges about My Cause, My Boots, please.
You know, our cheerleaders are involved in a lot of things, both personally and with our squad. So we partnered with Luke Casey and we decided within the star that's on the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders booth, we could embed a color representing the cause that means the most to them.
I have a best friend named Matthew. He's got Down syndrome, and because of Luke Casey, I got to do boots for him before he passed away. So thank you so much.
It was our honor to do it.
Oh, that's amazing.
If you had the chance, which cause would be your personal philanthropy?
I would choose the American Cancer Society. I lost my dad almost 4 years ago.
My grandmother is diagnosed with Alzheimer's this past year, and I would pick her. Neil, do you have any jokes for us right now?
No. Everybody has a story. Everybody has suffered some kind of loss, and it made an impact on all of us.
Hi.
Good morning. The ladies have to be smart. They have to be well-spoken, and they have to be pretty clever. Kat, can you tell me a joke?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cat.
Cat who?
Cat's out of the bag. I'm auditioning for DCC. They laughed, thankfully. But it was such a corny joke.
Name 3 Cowboy players.
Dak Prescott, Taco Charlton, and Jason Witten.
Do you know who the owner of the Dallas Cowboys is?
I do not know the owner.
Okay. You want to tell her who the owner is?
It's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. Thank you.
That would be really important for you to know.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was the judge that asked you that question?
Beautiful blue eyes. I'm blanking on her name.
Charlotte Jones. Jerry Jones' daughter.
Jerry Jones' daughter. Love that, and that's why she asked me that question.
This is the first time I've been across the table from Melina since we last saw her, which ended in a very dramatic final cut.
When watching that back, what did you think about yourself? What did you learn about yourself?
It was a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions. I'm a very passionate person, but now learning, I think, these past few months how to channel that passion. The mental step is a lot bigger than sometimes the physical step.
Melina was very philosophical. I didn't feel like she was necessarily at ease with the conversation compared to some of the other returning training camp gals that we've had in the past.
During the last auditions, you took a lot of heat on social media. Just curious to know how you handled that.
I did get some direct messages that were not the loveliest, and it took a while for me to not have that self-doubt that I wasn't good enough, but I want to prove them all wrong.
Those negative comments, I use them as fuel. I want to show everyone that this is my goal, and I am going to achieve it.
All right, final cuts are coming, and it's between Charlotte, Kelli, and Judy. Who are you cutting and why?
Oh no. Miss Charlotte, I have not seen you dance before. Tonight will be your last night.
And she cut me! Ashley, you were the head cheerleader on the Mavs?
Yes, ma'am.
I am liking Ashley. She has previous teammates that are on our squad now that think the world of her, so all signs are green lights so far.
In your opinion, who do you consider a visionary?
The person that came to mind immediately was Kelli Finglass.
Last year, I thought Meredith seemed very laid back in her interview.
I think the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, they embody everything that I want to be.
And this year, she seemed more engaging. So maybe the timing wasn't right last year, and maybe it is this year.
You're out at an event, and a little girl walks up to you and asks, what does that star mean on your uniform? What do you say to her?
It's a great question, and I've been asked that before. You know, they always look at our uniform, and they're just so intrigued by everything. And I think the star represents the Dallas Cowboys. Having that on our uniform is just so special. So I think it resembles just so many things about this organization in general.
Christina just kind of had a lackluster answer that had no depth to it, and it really was off-putting. That's concerning. Thank you, ladies, and good luck tomorrow morning on the dance floor.
Thank you so much.
I'm definitely very, very passionate about being on this team. Sometimes I get in my head on interviews and I don't have a strong enough answer as I wanted.
Brenda's question about what does the star stand?
Yeah, that's a softball.
That's like, why do you love to dance?